Okay, we're gonna do this. Look, I'm gonna give my story. I really don't want to do this for one reason. I like talking, but I like acting more. When I was in high school as a teenager, I used to talk 24/7. Yet I was 280, 300 pounds. Yeah, you do the math. So I got to a point where I was just like, dude, if you're gonna keep opening your trap, put in the work. Don't only talk the talk, walk the walk. So if I get in a space where I am right now, where I've been making these videos for content, for trying to help people and this and that, and I just feel like I'm talking more than I'm walking, I get frustrated. It's hard because I've been you're building businesses, you're trying to do advertising and stuff. I don't do well in that space, like just sitting on a computer in a coffee shop. It's cool for a day, and then I'm just thinking, man, I want to interact with the world. But here's my story. I'm going to try to keep it around 15 minutes. Usually it goes 22 to 28. My name is Dylan Hill. Wish it was longer. Might have more impact. But it is what it is. And I am who I am. And I'm proud of it. But I hold myself accountable. That's important. When I was growing up, I always wanted a role model. I was looking everywhere I could for that person that was going to change that was going to just give me something to shoot for. There was admirable people in my life, and I don't want to discredit or undervalue them, but I wanted to shoot for something bigger. I wanted more. I believed that I was capable of more. Everything I saw around me, like, numbers are easy, so numbers. The most numbers are easy, so usually money's the easiest way to explain it. I just burped because I'm fasting and I've only had coffee today. Whew, feel good though. So, and I'm only fasting for discipline. That's it. But numbers. So the highest earner around me made $72,000 a year. So money it's not the be all end all. It's not the measurement, but when you want to talk about numbers, what that did is it put a ceiling on me. It created limiting beliefs. Just trying to draw some light and see if that would do anything. It created limiting beliefs in my mind and in my life. And so I grew up with those limiting beliefs constricting me. And every day, if you grow up thinking and believing something is factual, something is truth, it just gains strength, right? And so, when I was young, I didn't see that person to shoot for. So what I promised myself was I was going to put it all together. I was going to watch everyone and see what do they do that I don't like. Because if I know what I don't like, I can at least not do that. So I was always very good at running from something, but not running to something. Realizations everywhere we go. And so I said, I'm going to run from that, and as a byproduct, I am going to be the role model that I always wanted to have myself. So I was like, I'm doing it for the kids. It's just because when I see like kids around, I see little chubby D Hill, and God, I wish that dude could have had a mentor. And I've had people help me along the way, but it's been a lonely road when it comes to growth. And so that was something I shot for, probably from the age of about 10 when I started playing sports. I kind of started to look at the world around me, and I was like, well, I don't want that, I don't want that. I don't know what I want, but I don't want that. Let me go. So then in my teen years, I played sports, but I was never in shape. I was always overweight. I come from a family of food, and so I ate. I was good at eating, but by 16, well, when I was 15, it's 2006, I hurt my knee playing football, freshman football. I tore my meniscus. I pretty much blew that sucker out. I was in a straight leg cast for 6 months. There's a language barrier with my family, myself, and the doctor. I don't know if that's what I mean. It's nothing to dwell on, but all the doctors I'd seen after, my man said that it should not have been 6 months. It should have been 6 weeks. And we had contact during the 6 months, so it wasn't like a just simple mix-up. It was weird. But in that, I fell to my comfort. My favorite food, Doritos. So I ate a family-sized bag of Doritos every single day. I got up to 300 pounds when I was 16. And 3 knee surgeries in total later, I'm 300 pounds. I'm trying to come back. And so during my knee surgeries, I was homeschooled. They call it homebound schooling. So my classmates got 100% of their work, got whatever grade based off of all of the work they got. I, for some reason, had my homie come teach me from the school, one of the teachers, and I only received 50% of the work to complete. So in completing 100% of only 50% of the coursework, I got an F. I don't understand, right? So you could sit here and say, I'm a victim of the school system, I'm a victim of this and that, but how does that serve me? This is where I learned at an early age that playing the victim sits you on a piece of cardio equipment. You're walking on a treadmill. You're doing nothing. It's not even that. You could say that you're treading water, but in reality, you're slowly drowning because you're not living the life that you want, because you're a victim of other circumstances outside of your control. And so I realized, okay, well, this is not fair, but let me take ownership, because I could have done this, could have done that. And all I have now is I don't have them to blame and boost me up. I only have myself. So I decided to drop out of school. Nobody liked that. I had a 0.9 GPA. I was supposed to graduate 2009, when people graduate, I guess summer of 2009. I don't even know when people graduate high school because I never did in summer. And then 2009, it was December. Dropped out and I got my GED. And nobody supported that, and I understand. But once again, limiting beliefs. It's where we come from. Everyone believes you must graduate, you must go to college. That's the path. And the funny thing about life in America is we live by societal norms. And a societal norm is put in place by the masses. And the harsh reality is the masses are the ones that get left behind. So I drop out of school and my thought process is, damn, school does not matter if I am dead. And I was 300 pounds. And I was 18 years old. It wasn't looking good. My entire family, we had no knowledge base of health and wellness. Everyone in my family was, for the most part, overweight. Everyone struggled with eating discipline. Nobody worked out. Hardly anyone was active. It was just the family I came from. So I was the one. And I spent, as soon as I dropped out of school, my parents they let me stay at home. I was blessed to have family like that. And I was like, all right, look, I need to focus on getting healthy, and then I'll go get a job. Promise. Or I'll go back to school. So what did I do? I spent at least 3 hours a day. So this would be my routine. I would drink pre-workout, study fitness or nutrition in some capacity. This is when YouTube is coming out. YouTube's becoming more prevalent. The access to resources is rising. And so I was so privileged to be dropping out at that time and going on that journey at that same time. And so I just realized that I really wish I had done the landscape view, but whatever. So for pre-workout, 45-ish minutes, I would drink my pre-workout and study fitness nutrition. And then I'd go work out. And then I would eat a recovery meal based off of what I was learning, and I'd watch a rom-com. I'm a lover. I'm a fighter too. I feel like you gotta be both. Keanu Reeves said, if you're a lover, you gotta fight for what you love. And I loved that. So I'm gonna fight for that. But I would do that. And then I would pre-workout again. Study again, 45-ish minutes. Work out again. Watch a rom-com again. And I would do that a third time. And I did that. I worked my way up. Obviously, it started like I would work out once a day for about 3 weeks, and then I started to do twice a day, like 4 times a week for 3 weeks, and then I started to do twice a day every single day. And I do mean 7 days a week. I did that for like 6 weeks, and then I just remember I did it longer. It was progression. I started to load, and then I progressively added more. And then it got to a point where I was working out. So within 8 months of dropping out of high school, being 300 pounds, within 8 months, I was down to 220 pounds, and I was working out 3 times a day, every single day. But the more important thing is the compounding of knowledge and commitment. A lot of people discredit self-taught knowledge, and I understand why, but they base it against university schooling. And the honest truth is, if you're someone that has the work ethic and is going to apply yourself, and you don't need that outside accountability, you will outrun in a quarter of the time the people that are at university. I promise you. I'm not someone that's against university necessarily. It could be set up much better. Everyone knows that. But if you're someone who doesn't need accountability from the outside, you will smash them. You will learn what they learn in 4 to 8 years. You will learn that in a year. It's a fact. Because you're not having to sort through what you want to learn. So anyways, got like a sneeze coming on. So I'm building up. I ended up going to work at a concrete company for 8 months, enough to buy a car. My dad helped me finance the car, and then, which I'm thankful for. And then I went back to school. I went to community college. Because my thought when I was dropping out, I was like, well, a 0.9 GPA, the best I can do is still get into community college, so why not drop out now, spend the next year building myself up, and then go to college? Like, it was just so obvious to me, but everybody looked at me. Because the thing is, in life, there's a 99% rule. Most people that drop out of high school are going to lead a life of lack, like a deficit. You know, they're not going to really shoot for much. That's the rule. Now there's the exception. That rule is based off of 8 billion people. Then there's the exception to the rule. That's me. I have no desire to slow down. I love what we're capable of. And I had that little seed from back then. It wasn't strong, and I learned a lot, but I did have that thirst for more. Maybe it's strong dopamine receptors. I don't know. Nature versus nurture, right? But anyways, went to community college, started to do well, started to do a little bit of CrossFit. Just a little bit. And then my little brother got cancer, testicular cancer. And I was always the rock in the family, and my thought was, okay, well, this is a joke. I don't even know why I have to take this class. It was very easy for me. Not every class is easy. I don't want to act like I'm all pretentious, but geometry, come on. And I was just like, dude, I'm not spending 2 hours a day doing busy work on shapes when my little brother needs me. And obviously there's 24 hours in a day, but I have always taken care of myself. I believe in more. I believe in efficiency. And I'm able to weather all the storms that come my way because I know how to, I don't like using these like buzzwords, but I know how to ground myself. I know how to bring myself back down to earth through my disciplines. And so that's what I needed to do. So I stopped going to school. I wanted to focus on being okay for the world around me because they needed me. And there's no regrets there. Fuck school. But because my university learning stopped, my education did not. Right? I'm a constant student. I love learning. I love stretching and growing. So it didn't stop. It was just the platform. And university is a shitty platform compared to what's out there. So anyways, then I got into, my little brother's good. He's all good now. He's in Texas crushing it. So it was about 7 months of roughness. Then I got into CrossFit / MMA. CrossFit started it, like I had a taste, but I was like, it's kind of trendy. Then I got into MMA, which is what I wanted to be doing. And I started to run a gym, full-time coach, kind of gym manager. And it got to a point where I could not train without people. So then I kind of gravitated towards CrossFit. I also had another knee mishap where I was supposed to fight, and then I had a bone spur shift and I couldn't walk for 2 weeks, so I dropped out of the fight. And I was just like, dang, man, I don't really know if I should be chasing this. I wanted to fight in the UFC, and I wasn't bad. I was all right. And I was someone where I couldn't even throw punches, and I got to that point. So I know if I had continued to apply myself, I would have been good. Who knows what that life would have led to. But my knee, something broke off, one of the bone spurs shifted, and it effed me up. So I was just like, I don't know if I should be. And I've never been able to bend my knee past 90. Still can't. So the thought was, I don't know if I should be chasing something where someone wants to maul me and is trying to destroy me, and my knee just gives out on me. Probably not the smartest. So went towards CrossFit. You could train on your own. Couldn't really compete because my knee, but I love working out and pushing myself. And so I went after that, coached CrossFit, and then in 2016, we fast forwarded a lot. That was the years of like 2012 to 2016. I was just learning every single day about mind, body, spirit. I was more into motivation, fitness, nutrition than anything. Wasn't really touching the capabilities up here yet. Because I still had that narrative and that limited belief that I was stupid. Because I dropped out of school, and then I dropped out of community college, so it's like, so I had that limiting belief. And then in 2016, I met her. I'm kind of getting sick of talking, so let me try to sit in this moment. Like I said, I grew up watching those rom-coms. My mom was my hero if I had one. And I don't want to discredit relationships. It's not my place to speak. I don't know the truths. But when I looked at my mom, what I thought was, I want to treat my future wife, my girlfriend, the way I wish I had seen my mom be treated. Not that she was treated really negatively. That's not what I'm saying. Could have been treated better. So I saw that. I was like, whoever finds me is gonna be one lucky person. And so in May of 2016, I went on a blind date. She opened the door. I was like, hey, girl. She said she fell in love at that moment. I know I did. I can still. I'm there. You know? And she's like, where are we going? I'm like, we're going to Wegmans. She's like, the grocery store? It's like, yep. You're going to pick something out and I'm going to cook it for you. So we got salmon. I made 4 different types of salmon and she burned the rice. I'm going to level you up. I mean, even to now, that was the best night of my entire life. It was a culmination of who I wanted to be manifesting itself. And it was with her. And within a year, we got married. And then, in 2018, June, hottest month of the year, we moved to Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah. And you know, the first week we were dating, it rained 8 straight days. And you sit here and you say, is that an omen? I don't care. So we lived, we loved. Phoenix was good. We kept extending her contract, travel nurse, 3 months at a time. And then in November, we signed a lease for a year. And in February, she found out she had to go to school full-time as well. And so I was like, look, quit your job, I promise you. Because I was working at a gym, making like $150 every 2 weeks. And I was pressing for something, but I would have quit in an instant and worked 3 jobs. 4 jobs, I would have made it work. But that's all I could communicate. Don't worry, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, promise. So she kind of snapped. Had a breakdown one day, perhaps rightfully so. Called her family and got a ticket across the country, upstate New York. The plan was communicated to me as, go away 2-3 weeks, I need to reset, I need to disconnect from work, school, marriage, everything. I just need to reset. I was like, well, this is stupid. I don't agree with this at all. If you're gonna grow, we should be growing together. I have many opinions on that now, but this is me then. I was against it, but I was for it. The week before she left on a Thursday, March 14th. That Sunday, the 10th, was her birthday. I remember we went out, I think we saw Get Out. We went to Cheesecake Factory. I'll never forget the way she was looking at me. It was as if she was soaking me in for the last time. But there was a shine. It was also one of those looks where it almost like a first date. Like just in awe of the person across from you. Not that I'm that great, but it's what I saw. And the next day I remember I was getting off coaching the gym. It was like 8:30, it was late. She left me a voicemail, she was crying. She's like, Dill, just pick me up. So I drove down to the hospital. This nurse picked her up. It's like, you want Chick-fil-A, don't you? So I went to Chick-fil-A. We were in the drive-thru, and she was crying. She was bawling. We're in the drive-thru, and I remember I just put on a song. I was like, let's karaoke it up. So she would pick a song, I'd pick a song. She'd pick a song, I'd pick a song. Just in the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, just jamming. I'll never forget that moment. That was nice. And it was like we actively dated that last week. It was Thursday morning. We went to the airport. I was yelling. I was mad. I didn't handle it well. Hindsight. Last thing she said to me was, I love you, Dale. I promise we're growing old together. I miss you already. Promise I'm coming back. Big old kiss. Hugged her tight. Big old kiss. Adios. I went in the car, played the saddest songs, and cried my ass off. Went straight to the gym because I had to coach 5 a.m. And every day I kept waking up 4 o'clock. I think I had to coach 6 a.m. the day she left. 4 o'clock, woke up every day. 4 o'clock. I couldn't sleep in. I wanted to be that guy that just grabbed a bottle and drunk himself to sleep. I couldn't do it. It's not me. I drank on the weekends. Because the story goes, that's the last time I ever saw her. Ever. My wife. Yeah. Crazy. 2019, I still haven't seen her. Talked for a little bit. She divorced me in an email on April 1st. I thought it was a joke, but I knew it was not a joke. Within 3 weeks of leaving, she was already with her college boyfriend. They moved in together. I believe they have a house and kids these days. And that always excited me because she was always adamant that she was not going to be able to have kids. She was scared she couldn't. She did. So that made me happy for her. I took it. The first thing I did was I looked in the mirror and I said, Dill, how can we make it so this never happens again? What can you fix? Because she got a little bit in her. This ain't all you, but it's not all her. So what do we need to get better? So I did. So I went down that same rabbit hole I did back when I was 18 and I dropped out of high school. But the difference this time was I was on a mission to learn why we do what we do, how we could do what we do. I studied psychology and neurobiology like it was my job. I'm talking 4+ hours every single day. I was obsessed. And when you're obsessed with something, you find out the answer. And within a week, I was listening to our wedding song, our songs, because my thought was I don't want in the future to have someone that I care about deeply and I'm getting in a relationship with, and then a song comes on it, triggers something. I needed to not erase it, but iron out all the wrinkles in my mind. That was my thought process. And so I did. And then in November, when I'm riding higher than I had been in a while, still wanted to die. I still wanted to die. I used to run through the canals in South Phoenix hoping I would get stabbed at midnight. Just running. It was like a fitness type of thing, but I wanted to die. In November, My only why left in this world was my mom. And I got a call that my perfectly fine mother the day before, my healthy-ish, she had a problem, everyone had a problem, mother the day before, out of nowhere, unexpectedly, randomly died. My mom, my hero. I remember my dad, I had people call me from family all day. I'm in Phoenix, so they're 3 hours ahead. I had people calling me all day, and I was like, nope, because I was drunk. I was at a donut festival, just having a good time, don't regret anything. I was just living it up. It was a great day with friends, my created family on the West Coast, and I was like, I just have a bad feeling. I have a bad feeling. So finally, my friends at a bar at like 10:40 at night. That's what it felt like. I don't remember the time. Sun was down. He said, Dill, you have to call home. I was like, I don't know if I can handle this. If it is what I feel like it is. And I don't know why. I had no reason to know, but I knew. So I called my dad, and he said, Dill, he's choked up. He said, she's gone. I was like, huh? It's like, Mom, she's gone. I was like, well, where'd she go? When's she coming back? Right now. Mom's dead, Dill. What you mean, Dad? Okay. Yeah. Alright. How are you doing? I'm okay. Jesse and Jared, they're good? Alright, well I'll get a ticket. I'll be home by Monday. When's the Thursday's funeral? Okay. Yep. I hung up that phone. Threw some hooks at a big old metal garbage can. Went back inside and just sat in silence for like an hour. What do you do when you're... They say start with why. What's your why? Make a reason for living. My why was my wife and my mom. Every day of the week. So what do you do when your why leaves you and dies? I didn't know. So I pressed on. Fall to the level of your disciplines when life hits you in the face. Then 2020 came and everybody was worried about sickness took people and tragedy there, but I wanted to die. I wanted to die. I remember going skydiving the next summer, and I was up in that plane, that little rickety ass plane, shaking. Someone who I come from, I don't want to jump out of a plane. It's something that would probably scare me. I'm sitting up there in that plane, had my Whoop on, I checked my phone, so I was like, 48 beats per minute. I was chilling. I was so calm up there. I'll never forget that. I was so calm. I was just like, I really hope this guy, I hope we don't die, because I don't want him to die, but if it happens. And then I started to live. I think for the first time, really. And when you actually live, you don't want to die. You want to keep it going. You want to take advantage of every moment, seize the opportunities, because all setbacks are just disguised. There are always opportunities. And so I'm not going to keep this going too much longer. I got into sales 2021, late 2021. Got into sales. I did mushrooms in September. I laid in my bed, and I'd felt like at that point I handled all the trauma, negative inflictions on my emotional state that I could have as far as my wife and my mom. So I was like, okay, well, I think I've done the best I can as a person, so I need some outside help to see if there's anything left. So I put on my Beats by Dre, turned on the Superman soundtrack, tripped on some mushrooms, and dealt with some stuff some more. I did it for therapeutic reasons. There's a lot of research behind it, and they do a lot of research up at Johns Hopkins. So that's what I did. And then in November, got into sales. Within that calendar year, from November 21 to November 22, made my first 6 figures in a year. Fairly easy, didn't really work as hard as I could have. Not even close. It's like, wow, sales is easy. All you have to do is tell people what they want to hear. And when you're a good person and you see good in people, you typically tell them what they want to hear. Huh. I'm reading these books. I'm like, y'all wrote a book on how to be a good person? Sheesh. And then it just got old. I don't want to sell solar. I wanted to sell people on themselves. Because one thing I can sell better than anyone in this world, one thing I can sell and feel good and sleep at night, is human potential. The possibilities that I see in us, words will never be able to describe it. And so I can sell an individual on what I see them becoming. Because I've started to become it. I'm not there, but I'm on a good path, I believe. And so that leads me here. Where I live a life of service to extract the potential from within all of us. I believe if we master ourselves, I know it's very cliche, but the cliche things are said because they're true. If you focus on you, it will shine out to the world around you, and it will leave a lasting impact. It's without a doubt. So if you just sat here for 40 minutes, wow. God bless you. And you should probably talk to me.